But men who haven't learned to contain and control that lust and aren't living for a higher purpose end up embracing it. And what's happened is that in embracing it, many men feel deep shame. And so the world has said the cure to this is to get away from the shame, not to get away from the thing that's causing the shame in the first place. It's a completely wrong message. What happens to men when they're addicted to pornography? Well, first of all, to call it a victimless crime is just foolish. We know that because of the sex trade today, of sex slavery. We know that it's not victimless at all. We also know that even if that weren't the case, if everyone participating in this horrific industry were doing so completely of their own wills, they weren't coming from broken backgrounds and broken families, it's destroying their souls. And that industry wouldn't exist if men weren't feeding into it in the first place. If there was nobody to watch pornographic videos, new pornographic videos would never be made in the first place. So to call it a victimless crime is really disingenuous. It's not true. It's harming your soul. It's harming the souls of those who are participating in creating these materials, and it's harming the souls of those who are other people who are watching it, because we as a society have decided to do away with this idea that there's anything wrong with it. If you're watching it, if you're viewing it, if you're participating in this, you're part of that issue. So that's where I'd start with that. Now, why is it such a problem? Because when men succumb to their passions and let their passions lead them, they become weaker and they don't feel like real men. And then men look for other outlets. They either look for more comfort, which means more pornography, or they go to this false masculinity that we talked about, where they try to become more aggressive, more alpha male in ways that are really not very healthy. And so we become less of a man when we do this. You know, man properly ordered has God, who's calling us to a certain life. It has the soul, which is seeking to follow God as much as possible, in the most pure way possible, and then it has the body, which is there to serve the soul. What we've done is we've completely flipped this on its head, and we say the desires of the body come first. The soul is there to serve the body, and God is there if he's even there at all. We just ignore him. This is extremely dangerous for men. You can't build a society that way. You certainly can't have a functioning, healthy family in that way. And I'm convinced as men, we don't really feel like men in that way. We feel disordered. And if you've convinced yourself that you don't feel disordered, if you really take a look at yourself, if you really examine it, you're going to realize there is something there that's wrong, and you're going to want out of that. So pornography, I think, is hugely destructive. It's hugely destructive, but because it's so darn available, there's never been a situation in the history of mankind where you can pull a phone out of your pocket and then look up any depraved thing you can think of. It's so available. So we need to start working on it, and we need to start taking it much more seriously. And I think as a society, we need to reattach the stigma to pornography and the pornographic industry that was once there.